Memorial Day 2023, and it's time to see what has changed in the last couple of weeks. We have a poppy cracking some color as it grows up through this Rose of Sharon. I have these onions that I threw in here for lack of another home for them. And annuals are going in today. My goal is to have that nursery holding area cleaned up. So we've got purple, yellow, and we're gonna probably add some red because I do like how the primary colors look from afar. Peas are doing great. I have them out front so I can keep an eye on them and keep them watered. And yep, I cut back some of my tulips. I couldn't stand the foliage. And also in preparation for annuals going in. Pansies are going to move to the back where it's more shady. And in the past that has worked really well for me. I don't love these. There's some sort of allium, I believe, that I threw in here, and they're very dainty. So those might get a move. Catmint is blooming. Pollinators will be happy. One of their favorites. And then over here, more of the annuals getting ready to go in. And this was my favorite last year. Blue Zephyr. Ranunculus, I'm proud to say. I even have buds on this pot and in the larger bed on the other side. This hosta is One Last Dance, which I do have one out in the backyard. And of course the mosquitoes are out and about. Espalier. I haven't brought out the house plants yet to finish off down here. I do. Poor mama. I have been staying away from here, but then she surprises me when she sneaks back on the nest. Not a lot to see over here. I'm working on the edging. Got to cut up the excess cardboard, clean it up a bit. I still need more fill to make this a better planting bed. So we've added smiley sunflowers, started from seed, some marigolds that survived the great frost of a couple weeks ago. I did have things covered up, but the temperatures were just so cold they still froze some things. Cosmos, Slogia, not much to see. And not a lot of growth has happened on what has been planted in here just because it's been cool. The soil has not warmed up enough, so things are holding their own. All the dahlias did go in last week. This was the earliest one that I started. Jowie Gypsy, I think. Yes. It's another Jowie Gypsy. We have the Feverfew Tithonia in the back. Diva, slowest grower. Some excess status. Cornell Bronze, which was a leftover from last year. Tithonia. And I believe this is a yellow canary. Maybe? I don't remember what this one is. Cukes are not loving their life. The poor soil is not ideal for them. Celery, onions, Sweet Autumn Clematis, finally making her way up. Hardy hibiscus, come back to life. German Johnson, new one for me this year. I did add some more sedum cuttings to kind of complete this wall that I started last year. That came from the sedum over there in the circle. Finally finally got some help to work on the garden fence. So excited. Totally making do with what we have back here. I like the look of the railings the best, so that took a lot of repair work. I just have plastic in the corner. Ultimately, I still will be expanding this all to one bed, but for now, I'm happy with the progress. Zinnias have gone in the front, as well as some excess ageratum on the inside. Over here is the yellow canary dahlia. And another one over there in the tomato cage. Everything's making some progress. Cosmos are getting larger. Status is getting a little bushier. Russian status still looks yellow and icky, but it's growing. This was a new bee balm that we put in here. BU Believe, pinky color, and it is a dwarf one. Oh, I see a slug. I'm gonna get it. In the construction of the fencing, I did lose one of my salpiclossus back here. That's okay. Now that the fence is up, I might pop a couple other tall things back here. And the mosquitoes are in full force because the sun hasn't hit the yard. Celosia, that is new in the back. It gets very tall, but I will pinch it so I get more branches and not just large stalks. Gomphrena does not love this cool soil. Hasn't really done anything. Feverfew's happy as can be. Bachelors are happy. And my first blooms, yay. Interesting that there is so much purple since this was a mixed packet. Back here, why can I never remember what the heck I put in here? I know that there are aster, and I cannot remember what the first one is. And then the snaps in the back are looking nice. Zinnias are holding their own, thank goodness. So ultimately, junk wood's gonna get cleaned up, and I would love to see this all be a new bed. But fill would have to be brought in, and heavy duty repellents put down for the critters. Still squishy back here because it is the bog area, but overall standing water has subsided. I'm letting this dry out before I make any more decisions. Mayapple did go in. That was one of my bargain perennials. And another slug. It's gotta go. This poor snake root is just so boggy. I don't know what to do with it. And this is the hardy geranium. I don't know how to say it. Enger's wine, something along those lines. Pretty though. Meadow rue is a new plant, considering going there. I haven't made that commitment yet. Another hardy geranium behind my heron. Containers have been started. I don't know that this is going to stay here, but it's a funky little plant. Always love the begonia back here. They did upgrade the tiny arborvitae to a bigger pot. It had been in that small metal urn for years and years. So it's going to live its best life with mint. And I got to get rid of this weed. Oh, I missed some narcissus I got to cut back. Dianthus, she's going to move. That was just thrown in there at the end of last season. And this host has taken it a little bit rough, and I think it was the frost. That one's cool as a cucumber. It's always been a little more prone to damage. Wee is very happy back there. Ooh. Colored Hulk. I hope that one bulks up a little bit more this year. Captain Kirk, always a pleasure to look at. Lady's Mantle, Jam. And this Astrantia has no buds. The one further down does. We'll take a look at that one. Loyalist is the new hosta this year. Very pretty. Variegation. And this is still Astilbe, sorry. Chocolate Shogun has white blooms. I am going to put in another dark foliage Astilbe, but it has purple blooms, so hopefully that'll be happening soon. Autumn Frost. More geranium. I did pop in Amsonia here. It may be a little close, but we'll see how she does there with the white bleeding heart. I'm really enjoying that against the rock wall. So this is all not a lot of change because, like I said, I'm letting it fill in and mature before I go crazy adding things. Purple fountain grass, because I do always love that in the middle of summer. Gets nice and bushy. One Last Dance. Gorgeous with the sun coming up on it. Cross a Regal. Probably could use more dividing this year. June Spirit. Oh, beautiful. And all the Jacob's Ladders in bloom. That's thrilling. See, we've got the buds on this Astrantia. If I'm even saying that right. And then Wide Brim, which I'm not sure if Wide Brim is the one that I have divisions of everywhere. I believe it is. If there's one back here, it looks very similar. I'm pretty sure that's Wide Brim. Blue Ivory, all-time favorite because it's so darn bright. And then these Nepeta will probably get moved out front. The cat's meow. Brother Stefan, beautiful. Hope Springs Eternal. And this is the best mouse ears has ever looked. It's mature, happy, best color combinations. Cordalis, this was a new one this year. That perennial sale. This is Astilbe is my white one. It's got buds on it. This ladder. Such lovely foliage. Hindsight, it doesn't look the best next to the Astilbe because they're both feathery. And Solomon Seal is still beautiful. I recently picked up a bouquet this weekend and Solomon Seal was in it. It looks really nice. This Lady's Mantle, not as happy as the other one, probably because it gets a lot more water logged and not as much sun. Another Autumn Frost hosta I'm considering putting in this corner. However, I think I gotta do some reconstruction. So this bed I want to expand. However, there's always standing water here and it's very, very heavy water there. It naturally wants to like drain in this region downhill. So I believe the proper thing to do would be to move this last timber and maybe change the grade and make a better drainage ditch. And then I can build up this banking and I think things would be a little happier. There's also a very large amount of tree roots in that corner, very dense. Phlox is holding its own. One of the first containers I did. Doesn't look like much now, but I think it'll fill in nice in the hagged out pot. Memorial Garden. I've worked on it a little bit. Enough that you can tell what it's going to be. So not a lot to look at. We have thought on, why can I never remember the name of it? I always want to say Jacob Ladder, Pulmonaria. And then we put the Bowers Beauty shrub that I bought on impulse over here. And that's a Christmas tree hosta. And then over there far, we have some daylilies. So, my little stakes for my babies. And over here, ooh, morning sun's coming up. So it looks a little hodgepodge because of course this is my workstation / holding zone. This pallet's almost empty. It will be empty by the end of today. Where everything's going, I don't know, but it's gonna get emptied. I just know that. These plants need to be in the ground. I'm very happy with the progress we've made over here with the perennials. Cup and saucer vine is finally taking off beautifully, climbing right up the trellis. Clematis is making its way up the trellis. I do have some clips kind of encouraging it. But for once, I think my vision is going to be complete and the plants will be on it. And this sandwort did get a haircut because it was a little rough. Honeywort is beautiful. I have to plant more of that next year, and I will do it from seed. So I'm really enjoying the bright color. And then this bed still looks really neat. A lot of blue and purple. Geraniums coming along. Cup and saucer vine's a little bit slower over here. Probably because it's getting more shaded out by all the forget-me-not, which is just about done. Boy, columbine is blooming its little head off. Looks so pretty with the allium too. Bleeding heart, past its prime. I need to trim more of that back. I hope my iris blooms this year. I think I need to remove a little bit of dirt. Oh, oh. I think I just see some happiness. There is a bud, bloom, stalk, whatever you want to call it. Oh, that makes me happy. And I'm so proud to report there is color showing on my first ranunculus bud. It's the biggest, the first one. There are stakes in this bed because it was very hot yesterday. So I threw up some shade cloth to retain some of the moisture and coolness. More honeywort. Lonely little strand. I think that would look nice with more popped in there. And then this mess is plants for clients and a few more for me and plants for my parents. I have a lot of excess seedlings that I grew that my parents have plenty of property. They're gonna reap the benefits of it. And that's it for end of May. Things are finally warming up around here.